everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I am your host here, Chantele Francis, here with my lovely co-hosts. We have
Michelle Nash.
Hi, Michelle. So if you've never been on Reality Realness, well then welcome. Make sure you subscribe somewhere down below. We're all about reality television and all the gossip. Hopefully there's some gossip that goes along with it. So today we're going to talk about our favorite. It is my favorite. You know what I mean? Because it never really lets me down. Like maybe a little bit, but like it's still always the old faithful, like the challenge. This is Real World versus Road Rules, the challenge, the duel, season 13. We're going to talk about episodes 7 and 8. And yeah, I mean, I've been disappointed this week a little bit with reality television, but when I come back to this, I'm just like, I like you. Like, do you feel the same?
Yeah, same. And these 2 episodes, they're just, it's a classic games, classic competitions, classic drama and confrontations. And, you know, just reminded me of the respect I have for some of them and how much I actually hate some of them, which is great.
Who do you hate?
Brad. I hate Brad.
Why do you hate Brad?
He is so... I remember thinking he was one of the nice guys, right? But that scene where he's just like saying that awful shit to Svetlana and like he just like assumes things and he gets all big headed and it really bothers me. And he does that a bit like later on, like in Cutthroat too, when him and Tori just like kept throwing in Brandon. It reminded me of that. Like, I'm just like, oh, he bothers me. I mean, he's no like Zach or anyone like terrible, but like he's not awesome. Also, I love the moment of Evan at the beginning being like, things are getting intense. Like all the gameplay, I want to be in all the conversations and none of them. I was like, yes, like he understands it's a game. I would have loved to see Evan on Big Brother.
Absolutely. He'd be really good on Big Brother. Like that's something that I wrote down, like Evan getting paranoid with Wes in that exact same scene. And I'm like, I like people getting paranoid, but like knowing that like, oh, it could be sticky if I stick my nose in here. And like, you know, he's thinking about the game aspect of it. And like, I like to see that. And I guess also it's only season 13 at this point. So they probably haven't had that much experience with like strategizing and gameplay. Like that's starting to evolve because this is still probably what 2006. It's still early in, I'd say, the evolution of strategy in these competition game shows. If you remember when Survivor first happened, people were anti-alliances. Remember how Richard Hatch got a lot of like, oh my God, I can't believe you formed an alliance. Like, remember the people just wanted to pick names out of a hat and like, you know.
Yeah.
So strategy was a new thing. It was only like less than a decade old. And these are young kids that they might not have watched Survivor. And so like watching them start to become strategic kind of minded is kind of cool to see where it's like, now it's like, okay, no, you have to figure out your alliances. You have to go in with numbers. You have to do your pre-gaming. Like that's part of the culture of it now. But before it didn't really exist before. They were going out to play a game.
Exactly. It really has changed a lot. And it's nice to see these more innocent steps where things can happen. I mean, it is a little frustrating at this point in the duel because that major alliance is still in power for the most part. It does bother me that like, no one wants to call Kina out. Like she's obviously, she was a fast swimmer, but like if she had, anyways, we'll get to that.
Well, do you know what that's interesting that you're saying about Brad too, is that I felt as though I was forcing myself to like him.
Yeah.
I guess exactly what you're saying. I can't remember if I liked him or not then, but I liked him and Tori being together. But is it just because I wanted to see people get together? Like,
yeah, and we liked Tori, right? Like she was a strong, kind-hearted, genuine person. And seeing I don't really remember all the things about their love story, but I remember it being cute. And so we stand it for that time. And you know, there were more evil guys out there at that point. So I think we were kind of manipulated in that way by the editing to really like him.
Right. Okay. Because like I was, even when he was talking with his confessionals thinking there's like a lot of drama that's happening and things are about to blow and all that stuff, I kind of was like, I don't know. I just didn't care for his commentary. You know what I mean? And I was wondering why. And I guess it's like, maybe I just never liked him until he started dating Tori. Because even when he came back, obviously I love OGs coming back, but like I wasn't like super on his side.
No, it was awkward. Like him and Brittany, and then like his fights and his weird like steroidness. I don't know.
Oh my God, I forgot. I was like, who's Brittany? I'm like, Brittany. Oh my God, what a weird love relationship.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. P.S. Has there been any more news about Mark Long's,
I haven't heard anything about it other than like there is some deal going on. I did hear in terms of season 36 news, I'm sure you saw that Annalise and Christy from BB21 have been cut from the cast.
Christy was considered?
Christy Murphy was supposed to be on it initially. I think she got cut a bit before Annalise, but they both have been cut within the past 2 weeks.
Was Christy part of that group chat as well?
Apparently, yes.
Hmm.
I don't know for sure. She was on that season, right? And she was friends with them. I'm pretty sure she's in the chat, but she didn't comment in the moment. I don't know, but she is involved in that. And her and Annalise were both cut. Interesting. On a live or on a story, Christy said like, "Oh yeah, I was actually supposed to be on it. I did get cut from the cast about 2 weeks ago. I can't say why. Just difference, like just a change in like some like casting or whatever." And the rumor is that things have opened up with the UK people to come, so they're changing the theme.
Okay.
That's one of the rumors, but then other people think that they're just using that as a cover up so that they can just get rid of Christy and Annalise and all those people that have like, you know what I mean? Some grossness there.
I wonder if like Viacom is like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have made this merge with like CBS and their problematic casting.
Yeah. Perhaps. Cause like, yeah, I mean, I'm just praying that Natalie is still on it from Survivor.
Oh, I thought you meant Natalie Negrotti.
No, I don't care.
I was like,
no.
Is something changed? Are you okay?
Yeah, right. No. But I feel like Natalie and Jay would be such a good alliance. They weren't even on the same season, but they could have that respect of like, yes, like it's time for us. I'm getting excited about the upcoming season, but no other drama than that I've heard.
And also, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the girl Morgan from Temptation Island, I heard that she has been
removed. Yeah.
Cast. And I heard that Johnny Bananas has also been removed for whatever. Yeah, I think we kind of talked about it at one point.
I wasn't sure because I've heard both. I've heard that he wasn't going anymore, but then I also heard that he was. So I didn't realize he got removed.
Well, I could be wrong then with the information. It could be that he's still part of it. Like, well, maybe it's still what we were speculating. That he maybe was going to do something like a mercenary thing in the beginning or something like that. Like,
I can see him doing something special for this season and not fully participating, just to like have his like glory without having the worry of like losing his like whatever.
So back to the duel.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about Nehemiah flirting with Beth, like coming in with like the note or whatever it is on the piece of toilet paper and like?
It's funny. I mean, people like just hate on everything that Beth does. Like she's some demon. And it's like, if she's annoying, cool. There have been many annoying people on the show. Is she whatever? Is she starting fights? Who knows? All of them start fights. Like, what is the big deal about her? Like, just get over it. Let her have her little weird flirty thing with Nehemiah. I think it's cute. Like, whatever. It doesn't actually bother me. I remember when I was younger being like, but I think it's because all the other girls were hating on it. And I was like, oh yeah, like obviously. But as an adult, I'm like, who cares? Like, she's just having fun, you know?
Yeah, I remember liking her in Nehemiah. I felt it made her likable.
Yeah.
That's what I remember thinking about it. I was on the Mean Girls side, which is so funny. It's like how back then it was just okay to like gang up as a group of girls and just like target someone. Like, no big deal. Even DM, I'm like, DM, stop saying that like, yeah, I guess girl is going to target Beth. Like she's like the one out next. I'm just like,
playing the game. You know what? She's playing the game and she's with her people. That's all she can do. I mean, it sucks for Svetlana and Anissa because they're kind of in that position of like, why isn't I have a question.
Yeah.
Someone who didn't watch all the road rule, like every single thing from before. why is Anissa not in any of the majority alliances when she's played multiple seasons? Like, why is she not with them at all?
Like her.
They just don't like her.
I think they don't like her, and she doesn't perform consistently.
Right. Okay. And I guess Jody performs consistently, and so does Robin. And
I think also Anissa probably does her own thing. She doesn't really like the group think. Like I just don't think that she's friends with them enough to like build a solid alliance with them. Like she's been on the season, she's probably always been on the outskirts. Like she'll go in and defend herself and win, and then she'll go in and she'll lose. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I think that she's never been an active piece of the puzzle for them, that she hasn't penetrated that like to become part of their alliance yet. I don't think she ever has. She's always on the outside.
It's true. She's never really in an actual alliance.
Like there could be some people that she would never put in, but even if you saw like in this most recent season, 35, like she wasn't with the Holy Trinity fully. She was like the arm, like the extension of the Holy Trinity. Like she has relationships with people, but she's never like in the main clique. I think it's because people just didn't like her that much back then.
Yeah. That's fair.
And like we didn't even like her that much back then.
No, you're right.
I was kind of like, whatever, Anissa.
I like her so much more now.
So much more now. I mean, she was cocky back then. She had an attitude. Like she didn't want to necessarily be told what to do. Like she's not an agreeable person, and she doesn't necessarily have the same agenda as like the group of white girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Kina just really bothered me in these 2 episodes because I just find her to be so, I don't know, a little like high and mighty, maybe a little like just thinks she's deserving of more. I don't know.
Watch her season again because I don't remember her as a person.
Me neither, honestly.
Like I recognize her on this season, but I don't remember her like origin story at all. Like actually all of them. I need to watch them all back.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Is Jody a Real World or a Road Rules? I'm assuming Road Rules, but
I think Road Rules.
Yeah, I need to. Oh my god, a Road Rules rewatch. Woo, so good.
That exists anywhere? Like
I don't know. That would be like I'll see if I can find it, but that would be a hard find.
Yeah,
pretty hard. From like the 90s. Like I literally was taping it onto VHS tapes, like, and like watching them, like, yeah. And mom would tape it for me and send it to me. And like maybe not for a Real World, but later down the road, she would tape for me like I think it was Alias, Survivor, Big Brother, and she'd like tape me all the week shows and then mail it to me in Montreal. So I'd watch it in Montreal, all the week shows every week.
That's so cute. Okay, I love it.
She knows I'm a super fan, and like I didn't have like proper cable like then, and like you know what I mean. Like living in Montreal,
do what you gotta do.
My early 20s, I'm like, Mom, send me all my shows. That is me. So coming to the challenge, did they call it anything? I don't feel like they did.
I don't think they had names.
They were on that Daredevil swing thing. That's the first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it looked terrifying and fun.
I was like, to dive off of that, that's scary.
Yeah, some of them had some bad falls.
Yes. And like I was thinking about you being like afraid of heights and stuff. I was like, okay, Michelle would not be doing that. Maybe you do like let him do his swim and then you DQ it.
I mean, if I got to wear a life jacket, I probably still wouldn't even be able to stand up on the ledge. I'd be like, my legs would be shaking, just like looking down, like seeing it, you know?
I wonder if I would do it or not, because that's just so scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I have cliff jumped before. I don't know, man. Though, like, just like the momentum of that swing is just so like propels you off. I don't know. It just seems like so dangerous. I don't think they would ever do anything like that nowadays. But I want to bring these challenges back and see if these new school people can hack it, because that's scary, man. Like
exactly, scary and simple. Yeah.
Oh. So the boys had to choose their partner, which I thought was interesting. Bring more of that into the new seasons because, like, random draws, I don't care. It don't bring drama necessarily. Like, if you're stuck with someone that you don't think is great, you're just like, oh, it was a random draw. But if you're forced to be with somebody that you can't stand, there's a little bit of drama there. Give me the drama. Why do they want to ruin it?
Exactly. Make people make decisions, make people see where the lines are drawn, make people have these uncomfortable moments. Like, this is what we live for.
Right?
Since we're not seeing it on other shows. Cough, cough.
At all. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Michelle. I mean, the challenge is just Old Faithful, as I was saying before. It's just like, you know that it's going to be a good time. And yeah, it's helping me get through this week. I'm not going to lie. So bad. So basically, people were teamed up. So Wet and Svetlana were pretty good, actually. And Nisa, like, ended up dropping the ball out of bounds. And see, like, it's that kind of shit that she does. That she doesn't, she's not consistent with being good. Like, she did the swim fast, like, she brought it over, and then she couldn't just get it into the friggin', like, where it's supposed to go without going out of bounds. So I think that's just, she's just not reliable.
I agree with you on that. And even to this day, she really isn't that reliable when it comes to competitions.
Right? Like, when she's doing well that time, then she couldn't beat D in the third leg of that. It's like, just be better, be consistent, have the follow through. I don't know. I just choking. I don't get it. It's like they have confidence in the last moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like they want to fumble because they don't want to have the glory. Like, it's subconsciously, obviously, but there's something subconscious that goes on with these people that just buckle under pressure the last minute. You're just like, it's not good. It's no good. CT and DM obviously was a cute little pairing, and she takes off her wig, and I love how when he rubs her head, like gives her kind of like a little noogie, like, or like just like shakes her, like, you know, like, it's so cute. Like, yeah, it's very endearing.
It's very heartwarming. It's very heartwarming.
They did a decent. Didn't DQ? Did she?
No, they actually were like second or third place because he like mentioned them as having a really good time.
Yeah. So yeah, they're pretty good. Eric and Beth, pretty fast, but Beth almost DQ'd. Oh my god, that her fall was like in the beginning, where it was like so close to the beginning. Like, bad timing. But they did not DQ, correct?
No, they didn't DQ.
Derek and Jody, they're really fast, but Derek, fucking Derek, like, anyways, out of bounds. And then Brad and Robin, what happened to them?
They did it pretty fast.
But yeah, in the end, though, it was Evan and Keena, your favorite, getting some credit in this episode. I mean,
yeah, she did well. She did really well in this challenge. I'll give her that. But like, I don't remember her. I'm like, impress me in a final. Impress me. I have a high standards.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah. Or you just want to be like, you have to be likable in order to get like be stand before like the final happens or something like that. It's like, you have to be really likable.
Exactly.
It's not likable. It's weird. I thought it was interesting that Wes wasn't the fastest swimmer, because like now he's just like, oh, like Wes swimming.
Yeah, I thought that he still was the fastest male swimmer.
Maybe.
I thought that Keena was by far faster than all the women. And so because she was with Evan, who's actually probably as close to Wes as anybody in terms of swimming ability, because of that, I still feel like he did the fastest out of the guys. Also, he was the guinea pig and had to go first. But that Keena was just so much faster that it took away that time.
And their time was really fast. It was like 27 seconds, like between the two of them. That's fast. Like, I think the next one was in the 30s. So
yeah,
they were speedier. I mean, it's hard to swim with a life jacket on. So like, that's pretty impressive, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
So they do their little like picking for the elimination round. Obviously, starting with, what was it, a boys elimination or girls?
It was boys for this one.
So
Evan won.
So Evan started the little chain. And is this the one where they picked Beth because they didn't want Beth to be choosing one of the girls?
No, this was the guy elimination. So Beth ends up having to choose between Big Easy and Nehemiah. So he saves Nehemiah, obviously, but then Big Easy decides to go against Nehemiah.
Which is really like I had a feeling that was going to happen. Eric doesn't want to rock the boat. Depending on what it is, he doesn't know if he'll maybe beat the other guys. If it's for like agility, like if it's the one climbing up that rope and monkey bars, like yes, Eric might be strong, but I don't think he can hold his body weight up a rope. Like he's a big guy. What does he weigh? Like 300 pounds? You think?
Close to, probably.
That's like I can't imagine like pulling my own body weight, which is
if he gets a sender, it's like he's pretty fucked.
So I assume that he's going to choose Nehemiah. I still didn't remember this whole thing until I saw the competition, because it's like I'm like, what did they do? So they did the watermelon. What are they going to do for this one? And then I remember, they had to choose the logs, how many logs that they were going to be able to lift up. Did you remember how it was going to end or no?
No, I didn't remember how it was going to end. I thought it was really, this is classic. This season, there's multiple times where there's little technicalities that happen and it determines people's fates. And it's kind of funny, but it's like kind of bullshit too. Like they didn't warn them in advance the highest number of logs. And like Nehemiah didn't have the opportunity to try to up it. And so it's just by luck of the numbers that he said that. And, I just think that's kind of bullshit a little bit, but
definitely kind of bullshit. Why didn't they figure it out with the watermelons? Like why they only had 30 watermelons, like, or whatever it was. It's like, I don't feel like 30 watermelons is that heavy. That's like what, 150 pounds maybe? Like, I just don't think it's that heavy. And so if they're like, oh, okay, well, that was easy for someone to lift up. So how much of these logs weigh? So it's going to be a little bit more. It's probably going to be like 200 pounds. Like they're not super big, thick logs. So like, I just didn't think, like, why wouldn't they think that they can lift more than 200 pounds? Like, I think I could probably lift 200 pounds for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it really didn't seem that difficult. The logs didn't seem super heavy. I'm sure it was all heavy together, but I feel like Nehemiah could have done it too, honestly. I think it was luck of the draw that Big Easy got to do that one and is like, yeah, I'm so amazing. And it's like, you fucking lifted something for 5 goddamn seconds. Like, it's not that impressive to me.
I can't remember. Do you think there's a fallout between him and Diem? Because Diem was kind of supposed to pick him, but she picked Wes instead. She was mentioning that Eric was giving her a death stare.
Yeah, I can't
remember, but I wonder if there's a fallout from that.
See, wasn't that interesting too, that Diem picked someone not in their alliance? Like she's in the alliance, but she kind of just picks whoever she wants. Like she's kind of just like, this is the right choice. Like, Wes swam so well. You deserve this.
Maybe it's because, though, the same reason that they kind of use the next episode is that Wes might choose one of their guys and one of their guys might go home. And so maybe Easy would have been more likely to choose Nehemiah, which would protect their guys.
That's so true.
Like Wes might have chosen Nehemiah as well, but there's also a chance that, like, fuck it, I'm going to go for Derek.
Well, no. Wes would never pick Nehemiah. That was his best friend. He wouldn't have picked him.
Right, of course.
He's not stupid like Tyler.
Tyler, ding dong, ding dong. I actually thought the logs looked pretty heavy, but yeah, Nehemiah's out. The saga. I was sad. I wanted the love story between Nehemiah and Beth to continue, just because I did feel like they needed each other and like they were kind of both alone. And I like seeing people come together in desperate times. It would have been a magical moment. But Nehemiah was giving Beth a bit of a pep talk. It's like they're scared of you, like they can't beat you. Don't worry, go in there strong. And so like I like that he was leaving her kind of on a high note and giving her a little pep talk before he said goodbye.
Yeah.
Totally. So on to the next episode. So this is where the fight with Svetlana happens, correct?
Yeah.
Can you explain the fight for me? Because I was taping it for you to be able to watch, so I couldn't rewind it and go back, and I got distracted with Twitter. So, like, can you?
From what I gather, Brad. So Beth was kind of calling out Brad, being like, "I heard that you that that Robin told you to get rid that I'm a target or that I was like something like that." And then Brad was saying like, "Oh, I heard that you're going after Robin." And Beth was kind of arguing back, just being like, "No, like I didn't like I know you guys are coming after me because I was told or whatever." And then Brad just kind of blames it on Svetlana and is like, "I don't know why she's running her mouth, blah, blah, blah," because Svetlana did say to Beth, like, "Oh, by the way," like did mention, "Oh, I heard Robin say your name in this context," which was factual. She like heard it. And Svetlana's not in any fucking alliance anyway, like, you know? And so I guess she told her information, and then Beth kind of was like talking about it with Brad, and then it ended up him calling Svetlana out. It literally like made no real sense. But suddenly he was just saying all this rude shit to her, and she was just not having it.
She isn't having it, and she kind of was threatening to quit. And I remember at the time I was so mad that she was threatening to quit. I was like, who quits over that? Like, who cares? Like, what, just Brad? Like, I was still kind of mad this time around too.
Yeah, she never quits though. She always just says she's gonna quit.
Threatens to quit. But okay, I mean, I don't know. Beth, like, she is a little bit of an instigator, but I think the way that Brad handled it is just so typical, like guy, like, oh, girls are just so catty and like just like gossiping, and like he's actually the one that's spreading the friggin' gossip and then like calling somebody out for like just having maybe a conversation about something, you know?
Exactly. Like he overheard, like she was listening the whole time, and he's like mentioning her and like stirring shit up. So she's like, "Why are you saying my name?" And he's like, "You're stirring up drama. You're being catty." And she's like, "You said my name, so I'm coming here because you're blaming everything on me. Like, what are you talking about?" kind of thing. So he is the instigator in that situation.
Oh, Brad. Was this? Oh, I thought it was so funny. Well, not funny, but the insults were pretty amazing when Brad's like, yeah, like, you're a witch, like someone saw you flying around last night on a broomstick. And she's like, well, at least I had something between my legs.
Yeah.
What?
I'm obsessed. Like they just call her like a witch. Like it's so, but like I like that she doesn't let it like sink in too deep.
I kind of like did a little bit of scrolling on her Instagram feed, and she looks great right now.
Oh, good.
I was looking at her wedding pictures, and like, you know, she's probably about 50, and she looks, I think, better than she did back then. Maybe it could be better makeup and like better cameras, but like she looks good. She looks younger now than she did then.
Wow.
Maybe in the photos it's different, or in real life it's different, but yeah, I was pretty impressed with Beth nowadays. She doesn't look as, not mean, but as like sneaky. You know, she always has that like, I'm causing you trouble, everybody hates me kind of attitude, and you're just like, Beth, like, stop playing into this. I know you must love it, or else you wouldn't be playing into it so much, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Beth. So, okay, was there a name for the actual challenge of the episode? I didn't remember it. Well, for both of it, and I didn't rewind it, obviously, again. But I just don't think that there was. Maybe they just weren't very diligent in naming their challenges.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe they cut it out. Maybe TJ didn't say it correctly or something.
Yeah.
So what was this challenge? They were in flippers. They had to get to checkpoint 1.
Yeah, it was a classic. When people get eliminated each round, and it gets less and less and less. So step 1, they had to run in flippers. They had to dig and do something. They had to inflate a boat, an inflatable boat. Then they had to go out and get a flag or something. Then
I think the flag was before the boat.
Oh.
I think.
They had to go in the water on the boat to get the flag, or to get something. An oar, sorry, an oar. To get the oar, then they had to go over and like more people got eliminated. Then they had to get the key or something. And then they unlock something and then they had to run back. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. But like, loved it. I thought it's a great challenge.
I love a like obstacle. Like I love that type of challenge. Just like go as far as you can go and people get eliminated and it's just like more steps, things you have to do. I love the way like some of them like didn't even inflate their thing and like hilarious.
This is definitely a challenge I would say they should bring back because it just is like, it would cause drama. It would be equalizer. Like, you know, people could see where they stood, like if they were helping each other, like whatnot. Like, I don't know. I think it would have been a great challenge. And it tests a few different things. So like, you can't just beast out if you like go to the gym like every day for 6 hours. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you have to be able to, you know, paddle that not fully inflated life raft and like have to be able to use it. Like, I don't know, it just tests a lot of different things.
Exactly.
And, yeah, there'd be some adversity because like people would try to be stealing your key faster and like, try, you know, people, it just, yeah, I think it'd be great.
Good. I forget, like I know what happens with the girls, but which guy wins?
CT.
It was CT. Okay, I thought it was CT.
He was up last with Derek. I think it was the final two. I think I could be wrong about that. I blinked. I think. But yeah, so CT. Remember, he kind of runs and like he's on his like with his shirt off. CT, the babe. Oh, that's something that did you like his high school picture? What a cutie.
Oh, so cute.
And he would have that little accent and be like a little like roughneck, like you know, little cutie bad boy. So adorable.
And yeah, I honestly was very much rooting for Beth. Like, it sucks because she is too strong of a competitor, but not strong quite enough always. And Jody, how does she just pull it out sometimes? It's so weird. Like, I'm like, you don't seem like you're that good. Yeah.
Because she's tall, I think she's able to do things just a little bit faster, you know?
Yeah.
And Beth, like, seemingly, she's not big, but she's a little bit bigger, a little more stocky. So, like, if she's not a speed person, like, she's just going to be a little bit slower than those long legs.
True.
That's the only thing that I can really attest to. Because, yeah. Well, Tanya's not here. We didn't talk about the prizes, but the prize is a torch freestyle kite and kiteboard.
Yeah, that was such a random prize.
And the last episode, it was a projector of some sort.
Yeah, a video projector. Like, I don't know. I mean, actually, I would like that, but
it's actually pretty useful. I have some friends. I don't know if it would have been like that back then, if it would be able to hook it up, but they hook up their cable or their computer to the projector. So if they want to use their computer, they can see the whole screen on like a wall if they have a blank wall. And so, or like if they have a screen. And so they use it for their computer or they use it to stream television shows. And so it's pretty, you know, you can have like a little movie theater.
I like that. I like that.
You can watch your auditions on that.
Yeah, right?
It's movie. Yeah, so what else happened? So Brad picks Beth. I guess Brad was the last person we chose.
Yeah, they purposely picked Beth so that they make sure that Svetlana's in the bottom. And they pushed Svetlana to be like against Beth to prove that she's not secretly working with Beth. So really it's this whole manipulation thing, which I think is a little bit like, it's giving me a little bit of the Big Brother vibes of just like the major people convincing the outsider to go against the other outsider because that outsider is just a pure enemy. And it's like, really, being in the loser gives you such an advantage. You get to pick who you go against. And what we've seen in these female competitions is like, there's a pole wrestle. Now we know there's a thing pushing a thing. There's a couple things that the size is 100% the reasoning behind who wins.
Yeah.
The ascension, no, Svetlana could probably beat Beth at that. Great. But like most likely the fact that there's a chance there's something that you could probably no way to win, why would you not pick someone who's of similar stature to you
Absolutely.
at this point in the game? She should have picked Kina, but I know she's just like, ooh, like
scared of.
And she was choosing between Robin, who's also the other biggest girl in the house, and Beth. Like, those are two heavy hitters. And she got manipulated into that. Like, no one wants to call out Diem. I get it. She's a sweet angel from above. Nobody wants to call her out, 100%. But, like, Svetlana could beat Diem. Svetlana could beat Kina. Like, Svetlana is so strong. And it was just, yeah.
So, what's it called? Push Me is what it is. And it's like a long metal or cylinder type thing where they had to kind of push on both sides and they had to get to their flag and unhook the carabiner. And they definitely showed Beth understanding that she had to unhook the carabiner. Like she repeated it after TJ said it or something like that.
She did? Okay.
If I'm not well, I mean, I wouldn't be thinking that she did if it just made it up. And so I remember thinking, because at that moment, like she's really gathering in this information, and I didn't remember how things unfolded. And so they push. It seems as though, we're over a half an hour. They're probably both pretty tired, unless like Beth was kind of sitting at like 60% and letting her get tired. But then she finally kind of pushes it over, gets to her flag, seemingly unhooks it. The horn gets blown, and then they notice, due to a technicality, that Beth actually ripped the flag off of it and didn't unhook the carabiner, and that Svetlana won by default. What do you think about that ruling?
Well, this is one of two times that this happens in this exact same challenge. We'll see it in the future. And it's I love Svetlana, as you can see. So I was happy. I actually forgot that happened. And then as it happened, I was like, oh yeah, she like freaks out and gives up. And then it's like, I won. I don't know. I think that like, it sucks that like Beth has to go. But it's true. You have to follow the rules. This is where the beginning of like the seeds of like, you need to be following the rules and be specific about that, because people lose a lot on technicalities. This is something that happens multiple times. So it's about being smart and strong, not just strong.
These things are not that complicated. So it's just like follow the rules and win.
Yeah.
Like, you
didn't have to rush and pull that thing off. Like, she could have taken her time to unhook it. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm happy because I really like Svetlana. And I think that as she said, she was like, I would have rather lost than like won by default, but like
take whatever. Who cares?
Like she went for it and she tried really, really hard and she worked hard for it. And I would love to see a return of Svetlana. Come on, you're bringing back Teresa, which is epic. Like, don't get me wrong. Never thought I'd be this excited, but I'm pumped about Teresa. But bring back Svetlana. Like, she's a hard bitch. She's just like, yes, I'm Russian and I'm here to stay and I'm going to fight. Like, she probably wouldn't be as good right now, but
I mean, or maybe she'd be even better. Who knows? Like, no, I definitely would. I'd love to see a return of her. I'd love to see, obviously, a return of any of the OGs, because they bring something that I really enjoyed about the show back to the show. Like, we've been trying to put our fingers on like what's broken and what's not. Like, we'll always watch a challenge. We'll always love the challenge. It always provides something that we really like. But these old school seasons, like the nostalgia of them and like the simplicity of them, I really, really love. And so I've been really happy like going back and watching this, because they're just like an easy watch. Like an hour and 15 minutes, and you get 2 eliminations, and like you get 2 full episodes in like less than an hour.
It's
like
amazing.
34 minutes.
I get all the gist of what's happening, and I get some drama like flown in and out, and some love stories brewing. Like, it's really satisfying, and it doesn't take up too much of your time. Now I remember how I used to just like binge seasons like during the day, like
hours done a whole season.
Yeah, that's how I'm able to do it. Whereas nowadays it's just like so overloaded with filler, yet not giving us the drama that we deserve and need to.
And like, I don't really ever need to have a cliffhanger. I really don't. I don't think so. Like,
No.
it's not good enough. I'm going to watch next week.
If you're a fan of the challenge, you're going to watch it next week, first of all. Second of all, if you're going to have a cliffhanger, do one cliffhanger towards the end of the season, some big elimination right before the final. I understand that. You can do that once. We give you one opportunity. Every other week having a freaking cliffhanger, it's just like, we don't need to wonder who's going to win between Casey and Kayla. Like, we don't need to be like, like.
It's so true, but it's also with like these old seasons, they don't worry about these things. Like, they just give us what we want. They was like, you want, okay, we're gonna do a challenge and we're gonna have an elimination. Boys stay, girls stay. Challenge, eliminate. Like, it's just the same formula. They just do it. I'm ready for it. I love watching it. I'm ready. I'm done. I'm satisfied. I get my fix. We're gonna get to the final. Yay!
Yay! Yeah, exactly.
Great. Like, imagine. I mean, it just wouldn't work back then. I don't think.
No.
Short episodes, like with a cliffhanger, it's just like, well, no. Then give me more content.
Exactly.
And maybe that's what they're rationalizing then. They're giving more content, so they think that they can do a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I think they're just trying anything they can to like try to get more viewers, I guess. But honestly, all they need to do is just like stop hiring the problematic people and, you know, make interesting choices with the competitions and with the eliminations that are anybody's game in different ways, and have some variety in there. And
a little more simple. We don't need car crashes.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just heard one other drama, which, I mean, maybe you already know, maybe I don't forget if we talked about this, but we know Cara and Polly aren't on this coming season. But I didn't know this. Apparently she wasn't asked this coming season. And it's a big thing because she did like a question answer thing on her Instagram story, and someone asked something about it. And without actually saying the challenge, she said, it doesn't matter how nice you are and how much cake you bring to the party if you're not invited to the party. And then it says, like, even if your outfits are great and something, it like kind of makes it a joke, but it's like, it's pretty much just saying, you know, it doesn't matter because I was ready to go in and I wasn't asked to come in this time. And so some people are speculating that it's because she's been shit talking the challenge since the last season that she wasn't on. You know, she's been saying like, oh, it's rigged for bananas and like blah, 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 blah. So maybe it's that. Maybe it is that it's rigged, or not rigged, but maybe it is that bananas is like, no. Maybe it's just because like they have a different theme and they want to like take a break from her.
Well, maybe it's because like Polly is toxic.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see him at all. And she stands him. Like,
exactly. And we don't want to see her talking so highly of him on the show, even if he's not there. And maybe she only wants to go on if he's going to be on. I mean, who knows? Who knows the truth? But the fact that she wasn't asked, even though and this is the whole thing, is that she's still on all the advertising on MTV. So when you're watching the shows, it's like a picture of her and a picture of bananas, like from whatever seasons ago. And the guy, Scott, who does Derek's podcast with him, was like commenting, being like, this is so messed up. Like, if you don't want to cast her, fine, but then don't use her photo for all this promo. And everyone's commenting, being like, you're an idiot. Like, those photos don't belong to her. She signed on to those projects. They have the rights to it. They can do whatever the hell they want. Honestly, you think MTV is not going to do whatever they want with this? Like, it doesn't matter if she's like a face of the challenge. There are many faces, and even if they choose not to bring bananas back and still use his photo, they're allowed to. Like, it's their own discretion. And, you know, maybe it's a situation where like they love Nani and like those people and certain people, they want to bring them back. And Nani probably doesn't want to be in another season with Cara. Like, that was hell for her in War of the Worlds 2 or whatever that season was. So who knows?
I mean, I think it's just that, you know, if they're building storylines, they must be kind of figuring out who's going to maybe fight with whom and whatnot. And I think what she would have to bring, I just don't think that they would enjoy that. So it's like, if there's still going to be the drama between Kyle and them, like, is that what we want? Nope. Been there, done that. Like, what else?
Yeah. And Kyle has like over 1 million followers on Instagram, right? Like, has a huge following. So to have Kyle, that's also influence. Kyle is friends with Bananas. Kyle's from the UK and has a huge following. He wants to be on the show, but maybe he's like, my caveat is no Cara or Polly. Like, I don't want to fucking play with them. They make my life a living hell. I don't want it. Like, there's so many things. Maybe if there's enough people on the other side who are important enough to be like, no, Cara, that's enough for the producers to be like, fine. You know? Because there are a lot of heavy hitters who don't want to play with her anymore.
Absolutely.
Not a game anymore. She made it just like awful that season.
Oh, it was so boring.
It was so boring. And I get it. Like, stands of her, I understand the argument that like she was bullied so much. She was treated like crap. She
hates.
You know, you just because you were like treated poorly maybe, or didn't like how you were portrayed, doesn't mean that now you just have to like do even worse to them. Like, it's like, and be all smug about it. Like, why don't you try to be more of a humble person, and then everyone's going to like you even more, because they're going to be like, oh, this humble person who was hated on and bullied, and now they're coming through and they're making alliances, but they're not like trying to be all petty. Like, if she just was less petty, it'd be so much better.
Well, this is the thing that I'm learning to understand with people that have been bullied on these social strategy games, is that they think that, you know, people were probably, when she first maybe stood up to somebody, was like, yeah, go Cara, and like empowered, like she was empowered at this point, and she was not allowing someone to like, you know, be shitty towards her, and she was standing up for herself. So we were probably like rooting for her at one point, like probably that season where she got together for the first time with Abrams, where she just was like, they were a force and they were able to get together, and they were able to like tune out all those people, and like we're like, yes, Cara Maria, like, you know, she's not standing for the bullying anymore. And then it turns into them not really like thinking that them being nasty to people means that the fans are going to be behind them. And it has a different dynamic, because the catalyst isn't there of the bully, right? She becomes the bully, and she probably doesn't understand why people aren't supporting her anymore, but it's because you have become the people that you are fighting against. It happened in Big Brother this season with Nicole Anthony. Like, you know, we were like, yeah, Nicole Anthony, like, you're amazing. Like, you know, you're standing up to like, Mitchie and Beth or Holly. And then this season comes around, and she starts attacking Kaiser and Janelle, who have not done anything to her, but like she's expecting people to be like, yeah, you're standing up for the bullies. But it's like, no, they weren't bullying you. This is a different situation.
Literally, yes. Yep. That's exactly.
Yeah, there's no more target, and they're still fighting the same fight. Yeah. And that's what I think is problematic with Cara Maria. That's why she's toxic, is that she feels like she's being empowered when she's being nasty to people, but there's no adversary, like there's no opponent there. And so she's creating an opponent when there was none before. And so it's very unlikable, and it's bullying, and it's what she dislikes.
Totally.
So yeah, I'm happy to not see her on my screen. I might go check out this Instagram live because I like knowing the tea, but yeah, I could never see them again on my screen, and I would be very satisfied with that, unfortunately.
Me too.
Yeah, at all. I mean, obviously before I used to been like, oh, I wish that they were nicer to her, but she sucks.
Honestly, the only time I liked her was back in like Rivals 2, like when she was with Laurel on Rivals.
Is that the one? No, that would be too far ago. I was thinking about the one when she was like fighting with Kaylee, and is it Kaylee? Is Kaylee the one that's just got engaged?
Kayla.
Oh, sorry, I got so confused with these names. They're so similar, but they're all spelled weirdly. I'm like, so yeah. It's that one where like she was like, you copied my hair. Like she had blue hair, and like Cara had red hair, or vice versa, and like.
Yeah, there was a point. I mean, there was a point where like, because were Laurel and Cara partnered both times for Rivals? I think they were. I think they were partnered twice together both times. And yeah, I don't know. When Laurel was finally standing up for her a little bit, and they were like working together as a team, and they became friends. And like, I don't know, it's tough, but I am happy without her right now, and I hope that she I hope that she can get out of the poly hole.
She's with her. They're rich and in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into it at all. So, any other goss?
That's all I've heard so far, but I'll be on the lookout.
That's awesome. So, people want to find you online, perhaps. Where could they look you up?
I have Twitter and Instagram, but honestly, I haven't looked at Twitter in a few years. So both of them are Mish Nash, MICHNASHHH. Woo! That's it.
Obviously, you can find me at Reality Realness with 3 S's on Instagram. Reality Realness with 3 S's and no second E on Twitter. At Fran on Instagram, or at Shan___Fran on Twitter. But if you find me on one place, you can probably find me on every single other one, because I have all different links and whatnot. So make sure, if you haven't done so already, you subscribe. Please subscribe. We love talking about this stuff. What do you want us to cover next? Because the season's almost done. Like, I think we have like 3 more episodes left. So we want to talk about something else, the challenge, before the next season of the challenge starts.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to start, because they keep on cutting all these people. Are they?
The rumor is they're shooting now. The
Okay.
rumor is that they'll be done by November, so we could see it in December. We could see it in December or January.
I mean, I feel like they'd wait till after December, but
They've done that before, though. What I was reading is that they've done it before, where they finished filming in November and started showing it in December. But I agree with you. They'll probably wait till January just to make sure they got all the proper editing and stuff happening. So I agree with you. January is probably a safer bet.
okay, I can take it. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, we'll definitely be able to do a couple more seasons of Old School The Challenge. So if you have any suggestions of what you'd want to, go along this journey with us, most probably seasons 13 or 11 through 30, it would be best, because it's easily found on on CBS All Access. So yeah, so find a season. Let us know. Hit that this like button if you liked what we're talking about today. We sure did. And ring that bell so you'll be notified every time we go live.
Woo!
All social media channels. Last words?
That's it. I don't have any last words except we stan Svetlana. She's a queen.
Yeah. All right then. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.